So, good evening. This is my synthesis video for the report of Mr. Paraguya, chapter 19 of the book Data and Computer Communication, chapter 19, Routing. So, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest, so that never stop learning. This because life never stop teaching. So in this topic, I am expecting to learn more about routing. So from the word itself, I understand from the root word route. So maybe routing is finding routes of or path for the communication network. So that is my understanding about the routing in the title itself alone. So basically, routing, so there's a quote in the report. So the quote says that according to G.K. Chesterton, from The Man Who Was Thursday. So the quote tells that I tell you went on Syme with passion, that every time a train comes in, I feel that it has broken past batteries of besiegers, and that man has won a battle against Chaos. So you say contemptuously that when one has left Sloane Square, one must come to Victoria. So I say that one might do 1,000 things instead, and that whenever I really come there, I have the sense of heart-breathed escape. And when I heard the guard shout out the word Victoria, it is not an unmeaning word. It is to me the cry of a herald announcing conquest. It is to me ended Victoria. It is the victory of Adam. So that means that including packet networks, the key of designing issue in switch network. So the internet and the private interest, so is that of routing. So in general terms, the routing function seeks to design routes through the network for individual pairs of communicating and nodes such that the network is used efficiently. So to answer the question in number 2, how do the concept from the reports connect with the concept from the previous lesson? So the previous lessons tackled all about networking, from wired network to wireless network. So basically a router, so how does a router work? So a router guide and direct network data using a packets, and that contains various kinds of data such as files, communications, and simple transmissions like web interactions. So also in router works also the data packets have several layers or sections, one of which carries identifying information such as sender or data type, the size, and the most importantly, the destination of the Internet Protocol address. So the router reads this layer, prioritizes the data, and chooses the best route to use for each transmission. So that is the router. So how does the router work? So we have different types of routers. So we have also core routers. So which core routers are generally used by service providers such as AT&T, the Verizon, and the Vodafone, or even in a cloud provider such as Google, Amazon, Microsoft. So the core router, they provide the maximum bandwidth to connect additional routers or switches. So most small businesses will not need core routers, but very large enterprises that have many employees working in various buildings or location may use core routers as part of their network architecture. So also we have a type of routers, the edge router. So an edge router, also called a gateway router or just gateway. So for short, it is a network outermost point of connection with external networks, including the internet. So also the edge routers are optimized for bandwidth and designed to connect to the other routers to distribute data to end users. So also edge routers don't usually offer Wi-Fi for the ability to manage local networks fully. So they typically have only Ethernet ports, an input to connect to the internet, and several outputs to connect additional routers. And also we have distribution router. So a distribution router or a interior router, it receives data from the edge router, so or the gateway, via a wired connection and sends it on the end user, typically via Wi-Fi, though the router usually also includes physicals or the Ethernet connection for connecting users or additional routers. So previous topic tackles about wireless network. So if we have a wireless network, we have also a wireless router. So wireless router or a residential gateway. So combine the functions of edge routers and the distribution routers. These are commonplace routers for home networks and internet access. So for example, for our home Wi-Fi, home internet. So most service providers provide full features wireless routers as standard equipment. So but even if you have the option to use an ISP wireless router in your small business, you may want you to use a business level router to take advantage of better wireless performance, more connectivity controls, and security. Also, we have the virtual router. The virtual router are pieces of software that allows what we call some router function to be virtualized in the cloud and deliver as a service. So these router are ideal for large businesses with complex network needs. So they offer flexibility, easy scalability, and a lower entry cost. So another benefit of virtual routers is reduced management of local network hardware. So that is the router. So if you are going to use routing technique, you may need router. So in question number 4, what concept took time for you to understand and why? So for me, in um, it's hard for me to understand in slide uh, slide 51, the figure 19 to 15, 19.15, the Bellman-Ford algorithm. So I really I really struggle to understand very well. So how this algorithm works. So but at the end, I understand it. So that the Bellman-Ford algorithm, so it is a graph or search algorithm that finds the shortest path between a given source vertex and all other vertices in a graph. So I understand lately. So the reporter reports very well, and I don't have anything to question. So the Mr. Paragoya delivers the reports very well. And that's all. Thank you.